Okay, this is video part 2. We are starting with number 5. I was just explaining how to find the length of the mid-segment. So it's 1 over 6 up. You're going to use the Pythagorean theorem again. And when you work it all out, you get the square root of 37. Pause if you need to see that process in more detail. I'll move these post-its down so you can see it. There you go. So our next question is, what's the relationship between BC and DE? Well, we saw 2 to the square root of 37, and then DE is just 37, or the square root of 37. So we actually learned that segment DE, in other words, the mid-segment, is half the length of BC. That's not a coincidence. So now it's asking you to find the slope of BC using the numbers you've already used in your triangles, and just simplifying, you could see that that's 6 over 1. 12 over 2 or 6 over 1. And then the slope of DE is the same. It's also 6 over 1. So we're learning some properties of these mid-segments here. And then the question is, what statement can you make about BC and DE? Well, since they have the same slope, you can say that BC and DE are parallel because the slopes are congruent. Cool. So let's talk about these properties. The first one is the mid-segment is half the length of the third side. In other words, the third side is 2 times the length of the mid-segment. And for an example, you can write DE is 1/2 of CB, or you can write DE times 2, or 2DE equals CB. It's also important to note that the mid-segment, I'm just writing mid-seg, and the third side are parallel. You know this because they have the same slope. So DE, for your example, is parallel to CB. Great. So we can show our markings and our understandings by that. And you also know that the length of CB is going to be 2 times DE, given that these are midpoints. Great. So if we're going down to this problem here, you're going to be tasked to set up equations to show your understandings of these two properties, whether the parallel slopes of the mid-segment and the third side, or the relationship between the mid-segment and the third side. So here we go with the first one. We have a mid-segment here that's x minus 4, and we have a third side that's x plus 7. So you can make the equation 2 times x minus 4 equals x plus 7. Finish it up that way. Then over here, you have 2 corresponding angles. You know that because the sides are parallel. And so you can say that 2x minus 27 equals x plus 15 because you know about corresponding angles. Number 3 is you have to start with drawing a diagram. Let's just quickly read it. We have to draw triangle GHJ, where A, B, and C are midpoints of each side respectively, and A is between, tells you where each one is. So AB is 3x plus 8, and GJ is 2x plus 24, so what is AB? Okay? So you're going to use the same equation as you did in number 1. 2 times the mid-segment equals the third side, and then you solve for x. X is 2. The important part is to plug it back in so that you can substitute for AB. So 3 times 2 plus 8 is equal to 14. 14 is the length of AB.